Alright, imagine you're a fisherman, right? You've seen the same stretch of Mediterranean water for decades. But one day, your sonar picks up something that doesn't look like a school of fish or a rock formation. You dive down, expecting the usual, and suddenly, boom, you're staring at a pile of ancient jars so perfectly stacked, they look like they were left there yesterday. Except it's been 2,000 years. This isn't a movie scene. This actually happened to Giacomo De Mola, and it might have just rewritten a chunk of Roman history. Let me tell you why this discovery is blowing my mind. Okay, so first off, these jars, amphorae, if we're being technical, weren't just random pottery. They are the ancient equivalent of shipping containers. But here's what most people miss: amphorae weren't just for wine or olive oil. They were branding tools. Think about that. A Roman merchant wouldn't just slap a logo on a jar. The shape, the stamp, even the clay's origin were all deliberate. This shipwreck? It's basically a time capsule of a business strategy. Personally, I think that's way more fascinating than they stored olive oil here. This was a marketing move. Now, let's talk about the tech angle. De Mola and his crew used sonar, right? Which makes me wonder, how many other rocks out there are actually history waiting to be found? Sonar's not new, but pairing it with amateur explorers like fishermen, that's a game changer. In my opinion, this blurs the line between professional archaeologists and everyday adventurers. Governments might want to start paying closer attention to who's scanning the seafloor. What if the next big discovery isn't made by a university team, but by a guy checking his fishing nets? Here's where it gets even deeper. The Italian Ministry of Culture is calling this a major discovery, which makes sense. But what they are not shouting about is the bigger question: why did this ship sink here? Sicily wasn't just a random pit stop. It was a crossroads of civilizations: Phoenician, Greek, Roman, you name it. This wreck could tell us about trade routes that were riskier than we thought. Maybe the captain took a gamble avoiding pirates, or maybe the weather turned deadly. Either way, this isn't just about jars. It's about human decisions frozen in time. And let's not forget the sheer scale: 70 feet long, 20 feet wide. That's like finding a sunken Walmart aisle stacked with ancient Amazon packages. But here's the thing: this ship's cargo survived because it sank fast. Saltwater preserves shipwrecks like a tomb, but only if the wood doesn't rot first. If this ship had limped to shore, we'd never have this trove. So in a way, this disaster became a miracle. What other disasters turned miracles are sitting under the ocean, just waiting for the right person to notice a weird rock? I keep circling back to De Mola's quote about feeling like one of the first humans to see this place in centuries. That moment? It's humbling. But it also raises a paradox: we think we've mapped everything, but the ocean's still hiding chapters of our story. So here's my closing thought: what if the most important historical discoveries of the next decade don't come from digging deeper into the earth, but from looking harder at what's beneath the waves? Maybe it's time to rethink where we're searching for the past. What do you think?